Vivian. Shabbat Shalom.
I'm like, well, babe, that's no surprise. Oh. Oh, no. Boy. Boy. Oh, thanks, well. Yucky. Oh, I can test it. Oh, good. That's working. Perfect. All right. Okay. Oh. Colette and daughter are going to light candles.
Can you just write that here?
Yep.
I feel like I need to offer these prayers even from here, just in case. Praying that it's like with some of the people who I said it over 8 or 9 times, and just praying that.
Yeah. Right.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
No matter what happens in a given week, I look forward to Shabbat. In part, it's because I'm blessed to be in community with all of you, whether you're online or whether you're here in person in our beautiful sanctuary. It's the music and the words of prayer. It's the sense of connection and attunement. It's the promise of sanctity and restoration that this holy day inspires. The chance to unplug, to connect, to be inspired. Whatever brought you here tonight, forgot I could take this off. Whatever brought you here tonight, we are grateful for your presence. And we hope that this service becomes an entree into a day filled with sanctity and joy as we begin, always, with lighting the candles. So I want to invite up a few people who are going to help us begin this day from a place of joy and light. And I'd love to invite up Donna and Paulette to lead us.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us.
As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own way, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you,
Adonai our God,
sovereign of the universe,
who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so very much. And as we have welcomed in Shabbat, so too, let us welcome in one another as we prepare to sing the words of Hinei Matov. Everyone who's online, I invite you to write messages to people who you know, people who now you have a chance to get to know. For everyone here to be able to send love across our sanctuary, welcoming one another.
Yo
welcoming Shabbat with Psalm 95, Lechuna Ranana. Lechuna Ranana, Lechuna Ranana Ladonai, Naria Letzuri Sheinu, Lechuna Ranana, Lechuna Ranana Ladonai, Naria Letzuri Sheinu, Nekadma.
We turn to Lechado D, welcoming in the Sabbath bride.
La 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 Lechado D. Ya la 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 Likrat Kala. Ya la 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 B'nei Shabbat, B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Ya la 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 Lechadoti, ya la 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 Likrat Kala, ya la 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 B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Ya la 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 Lechadoti, ya la 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 Likrat Kala, ya la 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 B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, ishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shem ultiferet v'litzilah. Ya la 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 lechadoti, ya la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Ya la 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 lechadoti, ya la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki מקור הברכה,
We continue with the Baruch Hu, our call to worship.
Adonai Eloheinu, Melech haolam, Asher midbaro mariv aravim, Bechokma poteach she'arim. God of creation, who makes the evening fall from light into darkness with the setting of the sun. You unfold the heavens with brilliant moon and stars, and wrap our souls with peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Melech haolam, Asher bidbaro mariv aravim, Bechokma poteach she'arim. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'ma'ariv Aravim.
As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me, did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone, help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know, lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, sailing on the parted shores of history. We still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it's eternally Egypt, that there's a better place, a promised land, and the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there's no easy way to get from here to there, except by joining hands and marching together and singing ya la 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 ya la 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 singing ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Moshe ומרים ובני ישראל לך אנו שירה בשמחה רבה ויאמרו כולם יאי לה 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 Yai, la 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 la, singing yai, la 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 la, yai, la 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 la.
While most days of the week we offer 19 prayers in the Amidah, on Shabbat we offer only 7. We consciously, thoughtfully remove the prayers that ask God for anything, because on Shabbat we focus on prayers of gratitude, of connection, and of strength. And yet here in this service, sandwiched between the joyous prayer of Micha Mocha, where we celebrate our freedom from Egypt, and our next prayer about the celebration of the beauty of Shabbat, we have here the Hashkivenu prayer, a prayer about vulnerability, a prayer that was created because when the sun goes down, we might feel a little more vulnerable in the darkness of night. As the sun sets, we ask God to protect us and to shield us, to give us the courage to close our eyes and dream of a better tomorrow. I find this prayer inspiring because it implores us to not deny or walk away from our weakness, but rather to embrace it, to pray on it, to put our trust in God. In doing so, we act our words, by Brené Brown. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is our greatest measure of courage.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לתורה. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות ושרו בני ישראל את השבת.
We continue by turning on my microphone. We continue with the Amidah, our standing prayers. And standing prayers, by the way, doesn't mean that we need to physically stand. Some of us may wish to physically stand, but standing in our souls, being upright and offering these prayers to God, that is truly what the Amidah is all about. So whether we're sitting down or standing up, let's raise our souls in offering these prayers.
Adonai sfatai tiftach, Adonai sfatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha, ufi yagid Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם כי אתה מלך אדון לכל השלום כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל 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 בכל עת ובכל שעה בכל עת ובכל שעה בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל המברך את עמו ישראל
I've always been fascinated by the book of Exodus. Not only is it a dramatic story of our people coming into their own, but it's a story that's out of chronological order. The book of Exodus is actually quite orderly. Rabbi Yehuda points out that the Torah portions in Exodus come in pairs. The first are about slavery in Egypt, the second, the Exodus from Egypt. Next, receiving the Torah, and then learning how to make a holy sanctuary. Then there's this week's Torah portion, Ki Titzah, the only one without a partner before next week and the week after, where the tabernacle is built. This week's Torah portion is curiously placed completely out of order, divorced from the Torah's narrative. And so we might ask, what is it about this text that warrants its displacement? What is it that the Torah is trying to teach us with this editorial decision? Ki Tisah, as we may know, tells the story of Moses, who is preparing to receive the Torah on Mount Sinai. He tells the Israelites that he'll return in 40 days and 40 nights with a message from God, and the Israelites wait, excited to hear this message. But as they wait, they become impatient. and they worry that perhaps something has happened to Moses and they no longer have their leader. In desperation to do something, they build a golden calf to worship. When Moses comes down the mountain, he's beside himself with emotion as he watches the spectacle of the Israelites celebrating and rejoicing and praying around this idol. God is furious. How could they have chosen to worship an idol when they were so close to entering a covenant with God? The portion will continue with forgiveness and second chances. The people will receive the 10 Commandments after all, but the story of the golden calf remains a painful and challenging hiccup in the Israelites' evolution towards nationhood. Rabbis offer many theories as to why Ki Teitzah in particular is out of order. Rabbi Jeff Salkin teaches that the story of the golden calf is placed in the middle of a discussion about the tabernacle to remind us never to allow our prayer to turn into idol worship, to get too stuck on the details that we lose track of the greater whole. Rabbi David Lieb, of blessed memory, posed that it is placed there to teach us that sacred space can protect us from the seductions of a world that worships visible material gods. I believe that the anomaly is there for another reason entirely. The story of the Exodus would be a much nicer story without the golden calf. The Israelites would move seamlessly from becoming a free people to entering God's covenant by receiving the Torah. The golden calf was a dark moment in the history of the Jewish people. It's full of hardship and challenge. The Israelites did not want future generations to be marred by this moment of fear and weakness. Perhaps it was better to ignore the incident, to pretend that it had never occurred, and to take it out of the narrative. When we make a mistake or deal with something out of our control, how often do we wish it away? Even now, 2 years into the pandemic, how many of us find ourselves thinking, I just wish things could go back to normal, as if the world could ever be the way it was pre-pandemic? How many of us want to turn back the clock, to take away all of the loss and the grief and the pain that these 2 years have caused, or that anything in our life that has given us pain and suffering has created? The Israelites, too, wanted to turn back the clock. They wanted to heal backwards, to undo all that they had been through. But as we know all too well, we cannot turn back. We cannot undo the past, and we will never heal as long as we try to do so. At some point, the story of the golden calf needs to appear in the Torah. It's part of our story whether we wish to acknowledge it or not. It appears, as grief so often does, in an unlikely place at an unlikely time. It's situated between the instructions to build the tabernacle and the act of actually making it. The Mishkan, this tabernacle that the Israelites are to build, it is a response to the discomfort that the people are feeling when they made the idol, teaches Rabbi Shira Shazir. Like us, our ancestors also struggle with feeling stuck, with not knowing when we will move on. The construction of the Mishkan, the transitory holy space, is on one level a capitulation to the extended transitory state that the Israelites find themselves in, and on the other hand, it is a choice to live fully in the present, as imperfect as it may be. The narrative of the Torah does not continue, cannot continue, until the Israelites embrace their past and their present. When they take the time to reflect on the golden calf experience, they discover that while they would never choose to repeat it in 1,000,000 years, that they discovered that they are stronger and wiser and more compassionate for having lived it. Their reflections enable them to make meaning and to find blessings even from their moments of distress. In going through hard times, the Israelites learn that they could respond to challenge with adaptability and to hardship with compassion, humility, and courage. A new nation, they come to appreciate the intensity of their bond with one another, and yes, also with something larger than themselves. They learn that they could accomplish incredible feats when banding together to pursue a common goal. Armed with these blessings, the Israelites know how to move forward. They know that they can, in fact, build a new future upon all of their learnings, upon all of which they have been through. They can start with the tabernacle itself. As we'll learn in next week's Torah portion, and the Torah portion after that, this construction project would be about far more than tapestries and sculptures, than columns or walls. In building this space, they were creating a future of wholeness and possibility. They were no longer healing backwards, wishing for a different past. They were achieving wellness, working toward building a better future. 2 years into this pandemic now, we might still feel stuck in a present that we wish to erase. We will get past this, whatever that looks like. And when we do, I pray that, like the Israelites, we can honor all we have been through, all the learnings and blessings we've received along the way, so that our future can truly be richer for it. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will.
God, prepare me to build a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Ozi v'simrat yad vayehi li lishua. Ozi v'simrat yad vayehi li lishua. God, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. And with thanksgiving, I'll build a living sanctuary for you.
We turn to our prayers of healing for everyone who is in our thoughts, for everyone who is in our hearts. I know right now there are many people who we're thinking of, and I invite you to write in the chat first for all those who endure chronic conditions, all of those people who we're thinking of who continue to endure and thrive, even in the face of illnesses that will never go away. I invite you to write names into the chat or to say aloud the names of anyone for whom you'd like to offer this prayer. Thank you. We offer this prayer by Alden Salavi that was recently commissioned. God of our mothers and fathers, watch over all who live with genetic disorders, with life-threatening and medical conditions, and chronic or degenerative diseases. Bless them with endurance and resilience, fortitude and hope, with opportunities to thrive and shine even as their conditions progress. Watch over them, their families and friends, our community, and all of humankind. We pray for the wisdom and insight to see each member of our community with clear eyes and an open heart, as another human being, a whole person with hopes and dreams, proud of who they are, striving to be their best selves, struggling with this life, and loving it too, as we all do. Rock and shelter, grant us all the ability to see each other's humanity clearly, to cherish each other's individuality, to care deeply about one another, to mourn our losses, to celebrate our victories together so that we live, act, and pray as one community of care and blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzadei gaver. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who strengthens our steps. And we offer our Mishaberach prayer as well for people who are in need of any kind of healing, healing of mind, healing of body, or healing of spirit. And I invite you to continue to put names into the chat for anyone for whom you'd like to offer this prayer. In particular, I know we're thinking about Bonnie's right foot. Thank you, Bonnie. That's great. We're thinking about Mark Newman. We're thinking about Elliot Brunner, Jill Halper, Dina Feynman, Tara Swall, Kimberly Storr, Naomi Storr, so many people on our healing list: Jackie Grossman, Helen Goldberg, Robin Gregson, Jennifer Harrison Gomez, Kathleen Gimblet, Scott Cohen Page, Montano, Beverly Alana Steinberg, Yisrael Ben Yehudit, Joan Morris, Mark and Barbara Paul, Philip Ray, Iris Spector, Jerry Metnick, Norm Cantor, Marty Cohen Spiegel, Karen Lavoie, Beth Montano, Adina Bat Avraham Vakela, Eileen Edinger, Janice Cerruti, Rich Cerruti, Marilyn Ponseggi, Larry Ponseggi, Jack Silverberg, Laura Small, Sheila Teitelbaum, Jean Bloomstein, Patty Lester, Marty Ebersman, Jeff Riker, Kathy Mayer, Melissa Polk, Susan Cohn, Caden Zaks, Logan Zaks, Elliot Brunner, and Mark Newman. For all the people whose names we've said out loud, for all the people who we hold silently in our hearts, let us offer this prayer.
Blessed our ancestors. Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak veYaakov veImotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel veLeah uYevarech v'yirapeh et hacholim. Blessed heal those who are ill, and in Moshe Rabbeinu's words we say, Elna Refana, Elna Refana La. God, please heal them. Elna שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב שרה רבקה רחל ולאה הוא יברך וירפא את החולים. ברוך אתה אדוני רופא החולים. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose healing presence is with all of those in need. And we all say,
Amen.
Amen.
We continue with our Alenu. We continue with our Alenu prayer, and I invite you to rise in body or in spirit.
It's up to us to call ourselves to task, to sing what's good and true, to bring about redemption. It's what we were free to do. For what's the point of being here if we're not moved to change our ways? Aleinu leshabeach. It's time to live our praise. It's up to us to own the vision. We are an answer to a call. It's up to us to live the words we speak for the benefit of all. It's up to us to bow down deeply. There's a broken world to raise. Aleinu leshabeach. It's time to live our praise. Aleinu leshabeach. It's time to live our praise. V'anachnu koreim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo
You may be seated. Actually, we're going to do this in a slightly different order for a change, that I would love to invite up Marla to lead us in just saying some of the announcements, some of the wonderful things that we have coming up. And Marla is always prepared. She has it in hand.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom to everyone here in the sanctuary and everyone virtually. And thank you for participating with me in this celebration of Shabbat. You all make it so meaningful and so important. I can't help but thank the important people besides yourselves. Tom Rosenberg was our greeter. I don't know who our greeter was online, but thank you to whoever you are. Appreciate you. You know, Bob, I was thinking this was our musical Shabbat, so the band, for whatever reasons, couldn't all be here. But I didn't notice. I didn't notice because, Bob, you're here. And I tell you, your accompaniment makes us all feel, right? It's a true musical Shabbat. And I was thinking also, on behalf of all of us, weren't you all at home, wherever you are, and here in the sanctuary, especially touched when Rabbi Cassi gave us her interpretation and understanding of the Hashkivenu prayer tonight? I see you all nodding. And here we were listening to it and learning from her, and then we heard, on the other side of it, our beloved Cantor singing it to us, and with us, but to us. I can't think of a better way to celebrate this Shabbat with these kinds of folks, with all of you, putting meaning to these words that are sometimes still remain foreign to me, not understanding all of them, but put meaning and relevance to why we're here in spirit and in body. And so I just want to say thank you to everybody. It just was amazing. We learned a lot from our Torah portion today. It was helpful, thoughtful. It's something that we can take with us and chitter-chat about next year when we're in an oneg, right? Whenever that happens. I want to say that I'm proud to represent your board of directors. It's an honor and a privilege to be here on their behalf. We have a few announcements, just like Rabbi Cassi said. Tomorrow morning we start off 9 o'clock. It's a virtual breakfast and story time with Cantor Ilan, which our new young lady over there might be interested in, yeah? We might tell her about it, especially. Then tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. is our virtual meditation service led by Cantor Ilan and Pam Tarlow. And if you haven't done so already, we would really appreciate your support in our Purim fundraiser by sending the Mishloach Manot, which are the little Purim bags filled with gifts and tasty things. Remember those hamantashen? Good little things and surprises. Those bags go to family and friends, and there's a listing of how you can have those sent. You would send that information, those orders, to Shoni, and the deadline to do that is really fast, all of you. It's February 22nd. So if you haven't done it, do it this weekend. Also, it is not too late to buy delicious hamantashen from our wonderful sisterhood. And who can you contact but our beloved Barbara Brickman to order online. And the deadline to order those is March 6th. So everything's coming up really quickly the next couple weeks. Our next session of Musar classes will be starting on Monday, February 28th, led by Chaplain Bonnie Leopold. The class will meet on Zoom for 12 weeks. It's $54 a person, and again, you RSVP, and payments go to Shoni in the finance office. Everybody's invited to a virtual poker night on Thursday, March 3rd, presented by our wonderful, incredible Men's Club. It's $20 per person to play, and gift cards will be awarded to the winners. Again, RSVP and payments go to Shoni in the finance office. Finally, please mark your calendars for Saturday, March 19th, beginning at 4:30 p.m. for our community Purim party at Temple Beth. There'll be a kids' carnival, a Purim spiel, Megillah, yummy food and treats, Havdalah, and performances from our youth choir. Lots of details will be coming in the weeks ahead. We look forward to gathering together as a community to celebrate and embrace this festive holiday of Purim. Shabbat Shalom to everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much, Marla, for all of your announcements and your beautiful words. And we end our service always with a prayer of memory, remembering all the people who have inspired our lives, but who have died, whether in recent days or in years past. We are remembering today Sheldon Bachner, Sonny Felberg's brother-in-law, and Charlotte Cohen, who have died in recent weeks. We're also observing the yahrzeits of George Appel, Adele Bacharach, Simon Baez, Derek Don Blatt, Richard Blatt, Charles Brown, David Feiner, Sarah Feldner, William Felsher, Anne Fine, Jesus Flores, Jim Frankel, Murray Franklin, Milton Friedman, Israel Baruch Friend, Ida Garber, Fanny Goldstein, Rose Green, Clara Hirschman, Abraham Solomon Hoffman, Jack Horowitz, Isaac Kaplan, Alvin Kay, Doris Lauer, Johnny Lorenzo, Robert Madar, Billy Mandel, Joyce Marcus, Pearl Mask, Abraham Mell, Richard Newman, Esperanza Panduin, Warren Rosen, Jack Rowe, Betty Rubenfeld, Sidney Sarner, Harvey Silberstein, Jerome Sokolsky, Faye Savlov, Sarah Spector, Mortimer Stindler, Eva Stern, Leonard Unger, Joseph Usatin, Helen Weiss, Margot Zelinka, Ray Altman, Maurice Avens, David Barnett, Edith Bell, Mayor Ben Coyle, Hinda Bloom, Esther Butler, Dr. Armand D. Arico, Elise Eisenberg, Harris Eisenberg, Peter Finkel, Peter Finkrell, Minnie Finmark, Dorothy Ray Friedman, Sandy Goldman, Fanny Greenbaum, Joel Harvey, Irv Hodis, Nathan Horn, Eva Jerome, David Neil Kelter, Olga Kent, Morris Konigsberg, Bella Levin, Gertrude Markman, Sanford Mason, Harold Press, Helen Przybylski, Andrew Reed, Jason Rumi, Benjamin Schneer, Julian Scher, Martin Scher, Ellen Bonnie Shera, Mildred Silverberg, Louise Stindler, Jerome Stolbark, Sally Swain, Gussie Gittlethouse, Esther Teitel, Samuel Jacob Weinstein, and Arthur Winnig. We hold all of these people in our hearts and all those who we remember on this Shabbat, and I invite us to rise in body or spirit in their memory as we turn to these words up on the screen or in our prayer books on page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach herotei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayachon uvyomachon, uvchaye jechol beit Yisrael, Ba'gala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mifarach le'olam olamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudisha b'richu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Damiram ve'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'ol kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'ol kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Zichronam livracha. May their memories always be a blessing. And together let us say, Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu,
online. I invite you to hang around so you can go into breakout rooms if you'd like to do so and enjoy some moments with friends. Grab a snack and just enjoy this time together. Do you have it?
I can't.
Okay.
Thank you, Bob. Beautiful as usual. What's that?